Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, live on WBON TV Channel 9 and on radio at V99.3, Sports Radio 103.5 and Y92.5. Support your favorite local teams and enjoy the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, the law offices of Patrick O'Neill, Nuevo Vallarta, and Aero Auto Glass. Now let's go live to your host, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show with a special surprise. We'll go ahead and bring him in here. Look at this. It is Samantha's birthday today. Randy Rosenbaum stopping by.
Randy.
And I kind of mad because when I talked to Randy earlier, he said he was going to bring cake over. There's no cake, but we got balloons.
Okay, are you going to
And we didn't get any of this on my birthday, Rosenbaum. It's not in the budget. It's not in the budget. We have to get that in the budget.
You haven't known Randy as long as I've known Randy.
That's true. But that's an age thing, though. It's not my fault. It's an age thing.
We're saying I'm 29 and I'm sticking
29
to it.
birthday today. We can go with that. I'm not allowed to lie, but we can go with 29. Sure, we sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It's great to work on your birthday.
Happy birthday, dear princess. Happy birthday to you. Hey, we got Tommy joining in here with us too.
Thank you.
All right, happy birthday, Samantha.
My two favorite men outside of my husband.
I was going to say. But
I said outside of my husband.
Who's number one?
My husband.
Okay, all right then. That's fine. That's fine. He is taking her.
He is paying
Ask
for
her again
dinner.
tomorrow.
And Sammy Joe comes from the cable days.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
was
true.
What, the 90s, right?
Well, it was, yeah.
All right. We won't have to go into more detail. All right. Well, thank you, Randy, for coming by.
We'll say late 90s.
Happy birthday, Samantha. Look at there.
Yeah.
We got it on the
Thank
screen
you.
for you, too. Look, see
Aw,
it.
thank you,
Yeah, that's
Copeland.
right.
Thank
Well, listen,
you.
we have got another fantastic Jack Burford
Everybody
Chevrolet
wants to
Sports
take our
Show
picture,
with
too.
you. And we're glad to be with you on the Monday night. Listen, it's been a hot week, Samantha. But,
has been.
Finally, not a lot of rain. There has been some rain, but nothing too crazy over the last week or
when
so.
I went to bed last night about 11, it was
Storm came in?
thundering.
Yeah.
That storm rolled in. I was like, oh, I need it because I haven't watered my ferns.
We are going to continue our conversation with EKU football. We actually have a recap of some of the interviews we've already done coming up later on in the show.
They're on vacation this week.
They are on vacation. A lot of guys are out of town, kind of getting the week off from Coach Wells before they dive right back into it next week.
We are making somebody work today.
We are, and we got Tommy Ziesmer.
He's working.
Yes.
Ziesmer here with us today from Boyle County High School. Played over at Boyle County for
State
Justin
champion.
Haddix, a legend around the state, obviously, with what he's
right.
done over with that program and what he did back in the day for himself, what he played as well. But so, Tommy, you're transferring over from Kentucky.
Right.
You've had some playing time there the last couple of years. I think you redshirted your freshman year, got some action last year. So let's talk about that first, and the transfer portal. That's been a big thing. We've talked to other guys about that over the last few weeks as well. And what made you want to play for Walt Wells and be a Colonel?
Well, something that really stood out to me, I feel like Coach Wells was very, very honest with me. And just he was there from the very beginning of my process in the portal. Just as a for advice, always have a plan when you're in that portal. Just be smart. I feel like,
tell us. That means something.
Yes.
Always have a plan.
Always have a plan. I feel like some players just seeing like all the big guys, they're transferring from this school to this school, and this money's getting involved, but that's not always the case for everybody. Always have a plan. Always have good people in your corner as well to lead you and to point you in the right direction as well.
Because it is hard to trust some people.
It is.
You're getting a lot of feedback. You've got family feedback, coaches feedback, new coach feedback, and it's like, all right,
well,
I got to do what's best for me.
And the coaches are going to try, and they're trying to get you to come to their school. So they're going to tell you things that they maybe can't follow through. I actually just saw a clip of DeMarcus Cousins, former Kentucky basketball player, that said when John Calipari got him to come to Kentucky, he told Boogie that he was going to be able to handle the basketball. Like, you can kind of run the point guard show some with us too. And it was one of their very first practices. DeMarcus Cousins gets a rebound and takes off up the floor with it, and Coach Cal stops practice, makes him run, and he's like, why is my 7-footer dribbling the ball up the court? He said, well, you told me I could. When you told me I could come to Kentucky,
you said I
I could do this, and now you're yelling at me for it. So I can understand that, but it's important to have somebody in your corner.
Right. And I also feel like Coach Wells, he's always going to put his players in the best situations possible. I feel like also just for me, early in my process, I was kind of all new to it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was also a little nervous. I was anxious because I didn't know like what was gonna happen, where I was gonna go, and after my talk with my former D-line coach, Coach Stewart, I've been talking to EKU, and they're open with me. They spoke to me for a couple of weeks. We formed a good connection, good bond. And yeah, I'm saying it was just a place that it's also close to home as well. So also, my parents can still come watch me play every single game.
About an hour drive from Boyle County, right?
Right. So it's not even that far from my house.
Okay, not just parents. Did you read his bio? How many siblings this man has?
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few
siblings.
of them, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they're athletic as well.
Oh yes.
Runs in the family, right?
What do they do? What do they play in high school or?
So we'll start off with my youngest brother, Kamarius. He is actually wrestling. Right, he wrestles.
A wrestler.
Okay.
Really, really good. He has a lot of potential in the future.
And how old is he?
So he's in the 8th grade, but he wrestles high school as well.
So what's his pounds like? Do you know?
I'm actually not sure, but
because he's probably getting bigger every year.
But he still can't beat Big Brother up, though, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
Well,
all right. That's important. You got to keep that in check for as long as you can, at least.
Yes.
So we got a wrestler.
Yes, and then so both of my older brothers, Owen and Austin, they ran cross country and they ran track.
Okay.
And then also my sisters, they also raced horses.
Wow. Okay.
And then my youngest sister, Skylar, she also runs track right now.
Your family was busy then. Like they ran a lot of running.
Oh yes.
A lot of practices and games trying to get to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like all around. Like so my mom used to have a big van, and it would just be full of gear. Like
she needed a van.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big cargo van.
Yeah.
So you were the oldest?
So I'm actually in the middle. I'm
middle.
The middle.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you work. Like she's like,
it's
it's 3:00. Don't leave the school because you got to stay for this,
yeah.
and you got to stay for this. I won't pick this one up and take this one to.
Well, let me ask you about Coach Haddock. So, I mean, obviously, he's built a powerhouse program over there at Boyle County in a very short amount of time. Well, do you see any similarities between him and Coach Wells? And maybe what are some of the biggest differences you've seen in the short time with Eastern?
So just the similarities with Coach Haddock and Coach Wells. I feel like, again, both coaches are very, very honest with you. They're not going to sugarcoat anything to you. They're going to tell it how it is. And really, I feel like all athletes can attest to this as well. Like, you for sure want a coach that's going to be honest with you. He's not going to sugarcoat anything to you. Just so that way, like, you know what to work on. You know what you need to do to improve.
They're upfront with you, right?
Right. Because I'm saying I feel like some coaches will bounce around the question. They might not give you a direct answer, and then you're leaving still questioning. You feel me? Like, what's my value?
Your role, maybe even
my role, exactly. So, just stuff like that. And then I would say maybe I wouldn't say there are differences between Coach Wells and Coach Haddock. Really, I feel like they're very, very similar. I feel like both coaches are very in tune with all their players. I feel like it's almost like a family, and I feel like they're very, very similar in that way. I wouldn't say there are any real crazy differences between Coach Haddock and Coach Wells.
So and being around Coach for a long time, I haven't been around Coach Haddock, but being around Coach Wells, he seems like he's business when there's business to be had, but he can also crack a joke and have some fun with you. Was Coach Haddock that way as well?
Yes. There's always a time and place for everything. Obviously, when it's business, we're serious. We got to lock and we got to get right. But then again, though, like just for example, so Coach Wells took me and some other players to the lake, and we had fun.
We saw those pictures.
Yeah. That was very, very fun.
Yeah.
I was like chilling. We some of the players were jumping off cliffs. We were also tubing. So all that was a very, very fun day.
Was he nervous? Like, please don't get hurt.
A little bit.
Other coaches probably were.
Yeah, that's a good workout too, though. Being out there in the lake and getting some swimming in.
Right.
You talked about your role, though. Has Coach Wells talked about what your role is with this team coming in as a transfer?
Yes.
And being a guy that obviously you were a seventh rated player in the state when you came out, so you've got some hype to you. Right. So has he talked about what he expects you to do coming in this year?
So really, also for me as well. I'm saying I'm expected to come in, dominate my position. So I am playing the nose position, the nose guard.
Okay.
And obviously, if you're on the line, you got to be a little nasty. You got to be vicious. You got to be able to dominate the guy in front of you. I'm saying at the end of the day, you got to be able to be strong, hold your ground, and also you also have to be able to read your keys. So I feel like coach has also put me in a good position as well. Letting me play the nose guard and letting me learn and develop there as well.
Well, we were talking off camera before you
came out.
It's usually me coming out last.
Well, I was here. I was back there just watching TikToks or something, talking to John.
Yeah. Well, see, and I'm in here talking to him.
I know.
We were in here talking and literally talking about Friday's practice. Because you remember the guys last week were talking about, oh, man, coach has already warned us about Friday. It's going to be hard. Right. And everybody knew it. So we were talking. Yes. It was hard. It wasn't as long as what, they anticipated. It didn't go all the way till noon. But tell us about it. Because, we talked about it last Monday. You got to tell everybody how bad it really was.
Okay. So first of all, we'll say Friday was not made for big men. That is all I will say. So we were split up into, I think, like 5 or 6 teams. And these teams were also chosen, like, I think a few days or a few weeks prior to us actually having all this go on. And so my team started at the cemetery, and we saw Coach Kidd's graveside, and we also ran from the stadium all the way to the graveyard, and then from there we went to the ravine, and we had this little push-up drill. And that was getting a lot of guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was also a little bit tired as well.
Well, because you got to think that ravine is uphill, downhill, and then you got to come back up the hill, and it's hot.
Right, and then mind you, while you're doing these drills, your team is running to all these stations around campus. So like, I want to say we probably ran a minimum of 3 miles, and I know some of the skilled guys even ran a little bit more than that because you had breaks for certain players, and so I think it was me and 2 others. We ran from the ravine and went to the sand pit, and we pulled the sled down and back.
Pit.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired just listening to it.
And then
it sounds awful.
Yes, and then we ran from the volleyball courts all the way over to the tennis courts, and then that's where me and two others got dropped off, and then the rest of our team went back in the woods and did some more drills. I think they did the monkey bars, balancing beam, and then they had to run back. So while that was all going on, me and my team had made, I think, like 6-7 cups of water just to make sure
everybody had some.
When they got back, we got them some water,
that was nice.
Yes, and I could
teamwork.
I could tell, you feel me, like they're also a little worn down too as well. So then from the tennis courts, we ran back up the hill, and we had one station where all of our team had to check in and make sure you had all your ribbons to just count the drill that you finished. Yes. And then our very, very last drill was run to the stadium, and then we had to run to the very, very top, and I think it was the top right. And then
man,
that sounds awful.
Yes.
But hey,
stairs are
it'll pay off though, right? When you're out there in Louisville and Marshall, that's what you'll click back on.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a nice team bonding
event.
It was. You're
was.
rooting for each other. Yeah. He was telling me how some of the quarterback guys are like,
cheering
them on.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, and you got to have support and something like that just to kind of get you through and have somebody by your side. So
that's exactly.
We're going to continue our conversation with Tommy Ziesmer when we come back. Lots more to get into, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Discover the hometown difference at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Kentucky. Family owned and operated for 60 years, we're dedicated to providing outstanding customer service in a welcoming atmosphere. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle and keep it running smoothly. Take a look at our new and quality pre-owned vehicles at jackburford.com.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience. We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Co-Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store. Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come. And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, birthday girl Samantha Burford here with Michael Watkins. And we've got Tommy Ziesmer here with us, a defensive lineman for the EKU football team. I'm not mean. I'm never mean.
Some days.
But Tommy, so today I saw Ryan Jackson is now officially an assistant coach. He's an assistant defensive line coach.
That's right.
And former player, he's been around for a long time. He has a really good relationship with Coach Wells. And obviously with you coming in, playing the nose guard position, Coach Jackson now working with you in that role. So talk about him and what you've maybe learned from him in your short time in the Colonel uniform.
Okay. So actually, mine and his relationship started way back in January, February. So when I first got here, I was very on. I for sure need the playbook. I need to know my plays. And so he was one of the guys that I just kind of clicked with real fast. I would come back after I had lunch. We would just go over plays. We would go over formations, and he was really like a guide for me when I first got here on like how I should do my techniques. And he was also a guy that he also just showed a lot of interest in me as well. Very early just being here, and so I feel like that also just helped our friendship. And then just for stuff on the field, like we would. Just us at the line would go down to the field, and he would also be there with us as well. And we would do some bag work. We would do
some extra work. And
right. And then like we would do hands, hips, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we have really enjoyed watching Ryan Jackson his whole EKU career.
Well, and he's a kid, too, that is very well respected across the UAC as well because of all the things that he's done. And he was a very loyal colonel as well. And there's a lot of guys like that graduated last year.
That's right. And it's fun to see him move into this new role.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and we should have him on the show sometime to talk about
and
how his new role
great with the headset on. So
yeah, he's always been great. It's been fun.
Well, Tommy, talk about with the Eastern and with this upcoming season. You said that you had one of your former teammates that plays for Louisville. You guys kind of going back and forth talking about that game,
that's
right?
a good story.
Yes. So actually, one of the gentlemen that I played with formerly at the University of Kentucky, he transferred to Louisville.
Okay.
And so we just kind of have this little friendly banter of just going back and forth over FaceTime, over text message, like, we're gonna beat y'all. Yeah. He's saying that they're gonna beat us, and so that's just kind of that kind of situation.
First game of the season,
and that's a lot of fun. I mean, we talked about it. It's literally right around the corner, and as Isaac was saying earlier,
Tomorrow is what?
Tomorrow, as of tomorrow, we are officially a month away, essentially, from playing football because the first game, August 30th, against Louisville. And
at Louisville, so get your tickets now.
Exactly, and that's a fun
get
trip,
your tickets
too.
Now. It's an easy
I remember
trip.
the Kentucky game from 2 years ago.
Right.
That was a lot of fun, just being out there. There was a lot of maroon in Commonwealth Stadium.
So
there needs to be a lot of maroon.
Not red.
At L&N Financial
maroon.
Field, whatever it's called. So that they need to kind of get your tickets now and get ready for that. But
we don't really care what that stadium's called.
So when you get right now that you're kind of off for a week or so, what are your plans as you stick around Richmond and try to get ready for the upcoming season?
This week,
yes,
right?
Yes. So me personally, I did take the weekend off just to kind of recover and kind of get back on my feet. But just like for example, tomorrow, I'll probably get some running and I'll probably run around my neighborhood. Wednesday, I'll probably get some upper body in. Thursday, get some lower. Friday will honestly probably be like a little recovery day. I'll probably hot tub, cold tub, or just get some game ready stuff in, just for maintenance and just making sure that my body is still at 100% whenever
when you
we
go
get
back
back
on Monday.
Exactly.
Are you going to be doing anything for the fireworks for the 4th?
I'm actually not sure yet. So
it's kind of crazy to me that the 4th of July is already here. I feel like June just
I didn't know if you go back to Danville or if you'll stay here. Be with family.
Well, I was thinking about going back home and maybe possibly going on the lake. I possibly thought about that.
Yeah.
Those plans are still getting kind of sorted out.
Yeah.
But
wear a life jacket.
Right. Always.
Be safe.
For sure.
Be sure to be safe out there.
Well, Tommy, we appreciate you coming over, my man. I know football season again right around the corner. Go ahead and get your tickets now for EKU football. They got the first game on August 30th.
Yeah,
so.
Eventually we're going to be talking about this new conference.
Yeah,
so
new
excited
conference.
about
Exactly.
that. I know you got to be excited. Some new things coming.
Let's touch more on that ourselves when we come back. We'll let Tommy get out of here and enjoy the week off and get back to work next week. And we'll step aside. Lots more to get to right now on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Thank you.
Discover the hometown difference at Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Kentucky. Family owned and operated for 60 years, we're dedicated to providing outstanding customer service and a welcoming atmosphere. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle and keep it running smoothly. Take a look at our new and quality pre-owned vehicles at jackburford.com.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience. We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Coquedet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now still in our Georgetown store. Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come. And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Welcome back into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Samantha Burford, birthday girl, and Michael Watkins
Working
here
on
with
my
you.
birthday.
You act like that's a bad thing.
Do you ever work on your birthday?
I work every day.
Not on your birthday.
Yes, I
you
do.
take off
I work-
usually on your birthday, don't you?
No, not
I didn't want to leave
wish.
you. I didn't want you to have to do this by yourself.
And I've had to work on I can't even remember when my birthday. I mean, I know when it was. I don't even remember my birthday.
Okay, and
actually,
you're talking
I
about
think
me
my birthday
being
might have
old,
been
and
on.
you can't remember.
Oh, I'm definitely
when your
old. I feel
birthday
it
was.
sometimes too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
Samantha, we were talking about with Tommy before he got out of here, the new conference that Eastern's moving into. And it's not really a huge change for football teams because they're staying in the UAC,
right?
But essentially, the new conference for basketball and all the other sports, volleyball,
girls basketball as well. And
they
all
are leaving the
track.
ASUN and going into a newly formed UAC. So it'll be kind of the same conference we're already seeing for football.
Yeah.
We'll lose the Utah schools. We'll lose the Florida schools. And it'll make travel a little bit easier.
Keep Texas.
Keep the Texas schools. I'm guessing Bellarmine will stay in the Atlantic Sun because they're just basketball.
Yeah.
But, it'll be very interesting to see.
Less travel.
Yes.
Some.
And that's a big thing.
Because they would play Utah once a year, at least in football.
So we're traveling to Texas more.
They're still going to go. This schedule this year will stay the same.
Yes,
so it takes effect next year.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. So the last year in the ASUN will be the first year in the finally finished Baptist Health Arena. But other things that'll be going on. And I think it'll be, again, the ever-shifting parts of college sports now.
Right.
This is just
and
where
here's
we're
the
at.
thing. Look at all the money they've spent on logos and everything that says ASUN. It's on the floor.
Yeah.
It's on the field.
Well, the floor won't be that big of an issue.
It won't be on the field because they really weren't.
Paint it, yeah. But like all the outfits, the clothing and stuff that say
that
ASUN.
say ASUN on it.
Yeah, so you got to do a lot of change in there.
Change all that. That's a lot of money.
But again, here's the thing: this is going to be the case maybe every 2 years. I mean, I think they all kind of know eventually the SEC and potentially the Big 10 or the Big 12, whatever it is, they are going to break off and form their own. Well, and that could be, 2 years, that could be 10 years down the line, but it's going to happen eventually.
Well, and there's been so much talk about forming all these super conferences.
Yeah.
So which kind of they are that way, and it's moving that way. Oh.
It's very interesting to see how the landscape of sports has changed. I mean, even since COVID was kind of the beginning factor of it, and since then, Eastern's been in 3 or 4 different conferences now. And now here's what we lose the rivalries that made EKU sports special, but what you gain is
more against
more
Austin P.
They have been in the past, the last couple of years. Yeah, Austin P still around. Central Arkansas has become a new rival now.
Well, I'm thinking more local rivalries.
That's really the only ones, Austin P. Murray. There's no more Murray State anymore. Right. There's no there's no Western Kentucky, which is kind of the thing we were trying to hope.
Morehead last year.
Yeah. So it's
those really aren't
rivalries
anymore.
Yeah. They used to be.
Right.
Jacksonville State was a big one for a long time.
Don't you think that's good because we're moving up?
Well, it is, but Eastern has been kind of built on tradition.
Right.
So that the tradition of all that is kind of where like the old heads might get a little upset about. And I understand that, but you've got to look at, again, this is an ever-changing almost yearly thing. You've got to keep up and adapt or you're going to get lost in the shuffle. Right. Nobody talks about the OVC anymore.
No, they definitely don't.
So, and not that the ASUN gets a ton of buzz, but the UAC, these things are, you just kind of have to kind of grow and adapt and become part of that.
Every team is trying to get into that bigger conference, just like Western got into that bigger conference, the USA conference.
So, I think, again, it's an ever-shifting change and things like that are going to take effect. You got to grow and adapt and be a part of it, or you're going to get lost in the shuffle. And credit to Matt Roan, who kind of began that, and Kyle Mulch now taking over as the AD
when we
the
went
last
into the ASUN,
year. And we're hoping to have him on the show next week to talk about the conversations and where we're headed and what this means for the university. Hopefully we can have that discussion with Mr. Moats next week.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. A lot going on here locally as well. We do want to remind you, listen, the 4th of July is right around the corner. It is the end of the week. If you have not got your fireworks yet, get on over to the Madison Central tent and go ahead and get your fireworks. Don't wait until Thursday or Friday. Get over there now
Not
and
all
get
of them
them.
will be gone, but the better ones
The good ones will be gone, So don't wait. Get on over right now. They are located over behind Office Depot, not too far from us, right where we're at.
And
so get on over to the
Exactly.
The only fundraiser they do every year, really.
This is the only fundraiser they do, Madison Central basketball. Coach Feldhouse will be there. Now, the team is not allowed to be there.
Correct. It's still dead period
because
time.
it's dead period. But Coach Feldhouse, the other coaches, Miss Feldhouse, they'll all be there.
Listen, if you like sports, go over and talk to Coach about some sports while you're buying fireworks. I mean, he's excited about his team. You know, I did the interview with him last week,
and he is excited.
They lost a couple of players, had one transfer away, but they're excited about what they bring back, and they expect to contend
and he talked
in a
about
very difficult 11th region.
Right. Then he talked about how they're playing in all these classics.
Yeah, the king of the bluegrass.
Yeah,
they're
he's
back
like,
in it.
I don't usually play in those unless I think we got a good chance. Yeah. So that tells you how he's thinking already.
We're going to step aside for our final commercial break. When we come back, we've been continuing to do these segments with the EKU football players. We are going to look back at some of the highlights of the first month of interviewing these EKU football players. They'll be coming back next Monday with us as well. So we'll have a full recap and look back at some of the hard-hitting questions that Samantha and I have been asking them when we come back.
I get to ask the fun questions.
Don't go anywhere. It's her birthday, and we're live here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Family owned and operated for 60 years, we're dedicated to providing outstanding customer service and a welcoming atmosphere. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle and keep it running smoothly. Take a look at our new and quality pre-owned vehicles at jackburford.com.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
We would like to invite you to join our family at Bishop's Small Engine Repair. Outdoor Power has become a family tradition, with 3 generations here bringing you years of experience. We will help you find the best selection of outdoor power equipment from Code Cadet, Grasshopper, DeWalt, Makita, Echo, Shindawa, and now Steel in our Georgetown store. Or bring your equipment into our service department. We will keep it running for years to come. And as with all families, we have to keep Mama happy. So come on in and see us at Bishop's Small Engine Repair in Richmond and in Georgetown.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
The theme was finish last year,
or
your all slogan. And you guys did that,
and
right,
you even had
Samantha?
the shirts with
it
that said finish. And we kept saying every week, what are we going to do different to finish, to get there? Because you know Coach Wells, every time he was on the show, would talk about it.
Yeah.
So what is the goal this year? You really reached that goal last year with the finishing in the fourth quarter, and you won a lot of games in the fourth quarter where you didn't the year before.
Comeback
what's
victories.
happening?
And, So is there do you have a theme or a slogan you guys are kind of planting in the ground for this year?
Yeah, for sure. So our theme, we also got a shirt too, is dominate.
Okay.
So basically, like how y'all said, like the year before, like we couldn't finish games and like we couldn't just finish the season basically. And then like last year we finished them, but like if you watch some of the games, like we were up a lot, let them come back. You know what I'm saying? We finished the game, but it was like too many like kind of sloppy wins and like sloppy play, like for Austin P, to be example, like we're down 21-0 at halftime, you know, things like that, a lot of mental errors and like little mistakes that we do everyday routine stuff. And so basically like we want to dominate is what we want to do and what Coach Wells wants to do, and that's basically from the first snap to the last, we suffocating people, getting a goose egg, because last year we didn't play our best game at all the whole season, and we were waiting on that, you know what I mean, because we know what we can do, we know what type of coaches we got, what players we got, and the type of team we have, and we know once we put it together, it's going to be crazy.
Do you know that now, though? I mean, you still got some new faces that you got to learn.
Right. I mean, I was having this conversation with one of the younger guys earlier. We just talking about like the amount of veterans we bringing back on the defense to be like like Vito starter.
Yeah.
We got the young corner Rabbit. He's coming back. Rashad Hintz, he got hurt. He's coming back, so he's been in the system a year.
Cam Jr.'s back
Cam
too, right?
Back. Jaquez is back. Jaheim Ward's back. Like, we're getting a lot of faces that's coming back. You know what I mean?
And that's crazy to me because you lost a lot of staples. You know, you lost to Ryan Jackson.
Right.
Who was the other lineman that you guys lost?
Yeah.
So you lost guys that had been here for so long, but you bring back a ton as well. Mike Smith Jr., obviously, big name as well. I loved Mike, but
everybody loved Mike.
Those are veteran
leaders.
That
vertical jump he had,
and he got a nice little chunk of change from the Cowboys. But those were like leaders. Mm-hmm. Who are stepping into those roles now? I'm assuming Vito's kind of, because Vito was a trash talker too. I think he's kind of stepped into that role, maybe where Mike was at. But so you guys kind of step up now
leaders,
and fill the role of Darian and Matt, right?
I was about to say, Ryan. Yeah, pretty much us. I mean, like, we're the oldest ones that's been here, so we got to be that voice in the room and for the defense right now. Yeah, I say it's us. You got Frank Lee, Jaheim Ward, Colin Robinson, Braden Sullivan. Like, it's the beauty of it is, like, when you lose leaders like that, you always get twice as many that try to step up.
Yeah.
So you want a lot of Chiefs and more Indians, but at the same time, like, it's a beautiful thing because you have more people that are forced into positions and you have more people that are, like, right at the edge of that position, and you just get to watch people, like, grow into that position. You know what I mean? Like, people that weren't really a leader last year, but they were an impact player to us, you know what I mean? And now they're in that role where it's like, we need you to do both now. We need you to be more vocal. We need you to step up and be that guy that's get people going and get out to know your teammates. And that's the fun part about it for me, especially because it's now, like, even talking to Ryan, because he's a QC now, he's like, you used to think it was crazy that I used to know everybody on the team, where they were from, this and the third. And it was like, but you don't understand how much, like, one, that means to them, that you know and care about them, and then two, like, that's your teammates. So at the end of the day, the more you know about them, the more they'll be willing to put on the line for you when it's game on the line. And, you know what I'm saying, you need each other the most.
Yeah. You know what I was just thinking? One of the goals could be you win at home. Okay, so we got to keep winning at home again.
6-0 last year.
Yep. So guess what? Let's win on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're going back to Utah.
Right.
You know, you got to win. It's a different Utah, though. It's Utah
State.
Utah State.
We went to them 2 years ago and beat
them.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, I want to ask Bradley a question because you said something before we went to commercial break that kind of stuck out to me. You talked about being homesick as a young kid and kind of not knowing anybody, kind of being more reserved. Yeah. But now as a leader, you're stepping into that role. What can you do to kind of make some of the younger guys now, or maybe some of the newer faces that might feel homesick or might feel maybe out of place, to kind of help them feel more comfortable? What can you guys do to kind of make that an easier transition for them?
Just talking with them, because we've been through it.
Yeah.
We're going on our 4th year, 5th year here, like, we know what it be, we know what you're going through, just talk to you, play the game with you, just be there for you, because we all know, so yeah.
Well, it sounds like they need to play against Gabe, get a couple wins under their belt. They'll feel more confident on the game, right? Yeah.
He didn't beat me. It's 3-3.
But
he's not going to let it go either. He remembers.
And I think
you need a chart.
Yeah, we should get like a standings list whenever we bring these guys over here.
Most definitely. It's 3-3 between me and him. I don't remember that, but I just know I'm probably down by it.
Well, who is, and Samantha, you and I talk about this every year. We ask all the players, like, is there somebody that fans are going to be excited about? And whether it may be a transfer or a younger guy that's coming in, is there one name that you guys are looking forward to seeing out there on the field? And maybe it's somebody that's been around but haven't really had an opportunity yet. Gabe, you got one?
You know who I can't wait to see this year? Braden Latham.
Oh,
I feel like he's going to have a phenomenal year.
Yeah, running back, right?
Yeah, number 14. Yeah, number 14. Yeah, he's going to have a phenomenal year. I go do after practice work sometimes, and I'll be working with him, and I just want to say that boy's a dog.
Well, in that running back room, it has been so deep the last few years. You look at what Braden Sloan did with Carter as his kind of secondary option. Yeah. Last year you had Carter with Latham. And
we're going to miss him.
Who's the other guy that was behind, the speedy guy that's still here?
Tilly?
The return man, the return guy.
J-Mont.
Yeah, Montgomery. Yeah. So and then Brady Hensley's coming up. You got a lot of options there in that running back.
Brady Hensley is pretty good too.
Yeah. Back to football though. So with you guys being some of the older guys on campus, we've seen a lot of changes over the years. And you talked about how long you guys have been here, 3, 4, 5 years. Talk about some of the changes that you guys have seen, not only on campus things, but just the football team in general, and how excited it makes you for this upcoming season as more changes come in and you see these new faces and everything, and seeing what Coach Wells has really done with this program.
So I've been here since 2020, the COVID year, so it changed extremely a lot. Like, so the older guys, let's start with the older guys. So the older guys back then, they wouldn't, like, reach down and pick up on the younger guys. So we was like, we'll see what they're doing, but we're like, they're like big bro. They're not like actual friends. So like what we're doing, we're actually friends with these young cats. So we're trying to make them feel like equals, not like nobody's better than the next, man, or nobody's like that, because we're all equal. We're all human. And then Coach Wells and Coach Brown, they've been like, I'm going to say back then they did the 1970s workout. We was just working out to work out. But now we're working out with a purpose, and we're like, I don't know how to explain it, but we're working out to get better, and it's showing. It's showing out right now. And I can say that back then we didn't have too many transfers. We kept a lot of people, but now people are graduating from his original class and all that. And he's doing a lot of these things. Like in the spring, we was doing a lot of competition to bring camaraderie out. So we didn't do that back then. We just like competed to compete, and it ended in the summer.
Right now, when you all start pushing the gator up the parking garage?
We did that last week.
Already?
It's not even a gator. It's an F-150. We backpedaling up the parking garage with it.
That sounds like fun. Sounds like fun.
Like week one, you're pushing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's okay, though. We do it. Because if
gets them better, right?
If not who, then who? Dang, if not us, then who?
Yeah, I like that. Well, give the mic to Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the changes that you've seen.
To Brad.
We'll go to Brad too.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Talk about some of the changes that you've seen, and like as the program and as you've been here.
Right. A lot, like a crazy amount, like especially like I say, even going back to my freshman year when Coach Wells had his heart attack and all that. Yeah. Like seeing him change, like seeing
he's more easygoing now, right? I can't even get that out without laughing.
I know, it's hard not to laugh.
But a different way, maybe.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, everything's changed. Like, the way the culture's changed is crazy. Like Gabe said, like, I'd probably say, like, it's, like, I wouldn't say we've always had a culture issue because we never did. It was just more of, like, it was a lot of little things in the holes that, you know what I'm saying, we couldn't really get fixed. And then, like, over the years, especially with last year's team, with how close everybody got together, like, with the coaches, like how they forced us to be together, like forced us to get to know your teammates, get out here, do this, do that, like put a little bug in your way. Why don't you go sit with him? Why you sitting with him every day? You sat with him the same day. I mean, sat with the same people the same day every day this week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like
change
that.
It up some.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, and then like the older guys, like Gabe said, reaching down to the younger guys because Coach Wells has an emphasis like we're as strong as our weakest link. So you never know what's gonna happen, who's gonna get hurt, or whose time is gonna be. So if somebody's not prepared, then we're not prepared.
Talk about the veterans on the team last year. There was a lot of guys that you all lost, and what you kind of learned from them that you can now take and turn that around and talk to some of these younger guys that are out there kind of competing with you all right now.
Yeah, I think you guys showed a lot of leadership. And that just kind of was like an inspirational thing for me I need to step up next year and take over the show and do what they were doing before they got injured, you know. And I think I did a pretty good job for being a younger guy trying to lead older guys. But now being a little older, I think it'd be a lot easier to do.
Was there one guy that you really connected with that really helped you in your first couple of years here?
I mean, you know, Kyle Kelly. I connected with Kyle a lot. Obviously, Kyle and Robertson. I mean, both great guys, great leaders. Just them being older too, you know, it's probably easier for them to do that and just, you know, be locked in and want to go crazy. So,
what's the leadership skill that you'll take from them and then apply it to the team this year?
I would probably say just being vocal, because Kylan's very vocal, very loud, and I want to be able to do that. And I've been doing that a lot more, especially with him. Like, we just, you know, in the weight room, we'll mess around, we'll yell and stuff. It's fun. Kyle, he's just real smart, and I feel like he knows how to talk to people when it's needed. So, yeah.
Let's pass the mic over to Frank, because Frank, I know, the last couple of years I've really heard Walt Wells talk about you a lot and stepping your game up, being a leader, being a part of this defense. And I feel like, last year at times the defense looked like it couldn't stop anybody, and there were some games where you guys were really, really good. And there was games where maybe one half you weren't the best, and then the second half you were really good. Austin Peay game comes to mind. But when you talk about the defense this year, what can we expect from you and the defense as a whole?
I just say for sure, just playing hard. We got the little motto, 4 to 6, A to B. Just everybody, playing as hard as you can while you're out there. I say another thing is just trusting one another. We got a lot of new people, but some we've been doing a little different now. Like, we already started going over installs, which is a little different. Normally, we wait a little longer. So just making sure everybody on the same page and just make sure we trust one another so that we can play fast.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Most people don't know, but you have an NIL deal with AARP. How is it doing? How's that, Mr. Retirement?
You right behind me because you're only a few months younger.
You guys were giving each other a hard time about being older or whatever. But listen, you got to have veterans on the team. Yeah, this guy likes to talk though. We know that. We know that.
It's okay.
Listen, if whoever it is, give us some NIL money. We'll take it, right?
Also, most people don't know that you play basketball, college basketball, before you transferred here.
Yeah,
Can you tell a little bit about that story?
Just an athlete, couldn't decide which sport I wanted to play initially. Tested both of them out, and here I am today.
Where'd you play at?
Spartanburg Methodist. I did a semester there, and then transferred to Carson Newman to start my football collegiate career.
Let's talk about the hoops game first. I mean, so who would you say your basketball game is like comparable to?
Man, I'm like LeBron,
Oh my God!
All right, turn the mic off.
Just a little shorter, But
you an above the rim guy then?
Every now and then.
Okay.
But I say more so like the camaraderie aspect of like just bringing everybody together.
So out of high school, you chose basketball over football.
Yeah.
What was that decision like? How hard was that for you to choose one or the other?
Stressful. A lot of commotion between like me and my parents. Like my mom wanted me to do one thing, I wanted to do something else. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, which one I thought I'd be more successful at, and just ended up trying out both.
So now that you're at Eastern, talk about the football program here and what you like about it, and maybe what drew you to come to EKU.
So I was finishing up my academics at my last school. Didn't have any grad program for me. I knew I always wanted to play at the Division I level. I felt like I could compete at this level. So really just finding a program that would provide me the opportunity and to showcase my skills. That's really it. Spoke with Coach Day. It's really hard getting in contact with coaches, when you don't know anybody, especially during that time. They have to follow you back on Twitter in order for you to even
message them. Yeah.
So that was complicated. Came across Coach Day through Cornelius Evans. Guy used to play here. I was just in the gym hooping, ironically, and he was in there playing. That's how I ended up getting in contact with EKU, Coach Day.
Well, you talk about some of the guys that you guys lost defensively last year, and there were some big names. You look at some of the veterans, Mike Smith Jr. being one, Ryan Jackson, Darian Baker, some of these guys that have been around the program for a long time. So how hard is it to replace guys like that who know Coach Wells' system, who know, obviously, a lot about the city and the program itself? How hard is it to replace those key veterans that have been around for such a long time?
Coach Wells has instilled in us, next man mentality, but also while those guys being a big part of our defense last year, we have guys stepping up, stepping in, learning the playbook, in contact with those guys. Those guys aren't around here, but, guys keep in contact, asking them how they did what they did. So, yeah, we're going to keep it going.
I think it's what makes EKU special because you see all these guys that come back. The Warren Cleat Club, homecoming, there's always a bigger group then. But throughout the entire season, and even during practice, I'm sure you guys have guys that will come watch you that played for this program before, the connections they have to EKU. They love the university, and I think that's, again, what makes EKU football so special is once you come through the ranks, it's not just, okay, you're done with football, you're done with EKU. Eternal Colonel is a really big deal, I think, and that's something that a lot of these guys believe in. So talk about that maybe, and we'll let all you guys kind of touch on that, what it's like seeing all these older guys that come back and support you in the program still.
That's great. That's great to see. I got in contact with guys that I don't even know. From before I got here. So it's just great to feel like we're all a family, even if you didn't play with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braden, you answer that question too.
I think it's important for those type of guys to come back because you build bonds with those guys, and I think it's important for them to come back to just keep that bond going, keep that lifelong friendship going. And when they come back, they can talk to those younger guys, and they can teach them, and they can help them fit into that role, and they can ask those questions in person versus over text or whatnot. and maybe even train them if they're there for long enough. Because they also have that, if they do make it to the pro or another league, they get that
experience.
Yeah, they get that extra experience to be able to help these younger guys become better and hopefully make it to the next level as well. So
and I think that's and we'll pass it over to Franklin and kind of talk about that too. But when you look at the Warren Cleat Club, and I know Walt Wells is a big part of that too, because a lot of these guys he's coached or he might have even played against when he played at Austin Peay. So when you see all these guys coming back, do you ever have a chance to talk to anybody? Is there somebody, maybe one person that sticks out to you?
I can't think of his name off the top of his head. I know for sure. I want to say, is it like Horse or somebody, the running back? He come. He's the 2 years I've been here. Well, it's going on my 3rd year, but the 2 years I have been here, he's came to I want to say 2 of our practices and spoke. Told us what was it like, when they were playing, because he was on the championship team back then. And then there's another guy, a big tight end. I don't know his name.
Tony DiGregorio.
He came and talked to us too. Yeah, it's several people that you hear from. I don't quite remember the names, but yeah, it's a few. But to answer your previous question, I say it's always beneficial too, because it's not all about what you know, it's sometimes who you know. So just building these connections, could give us an advantage sometime even off the field, just helping us out, giving us just knowledge or wisdom, for even the real world outside of football or something like that. So.
But you guys talked about, last week, what you like to do when you're not on the field, when you're not doing football things. Talked about playing NCAA. Is there anything that you guys like to do in your spare time, whether it be with teammates or by yourself, to kind of just pass the time by?
Me personally, I like going fishing, things like that, being out in nature. I try to go on trails every now and then. With my girlfriend, I'll go see a sunset or something like that, just try to be out in nature, because growing up, that's a lot of things. That's a lot of what I did with my cousins and stuff like that. We were always by a creek or always somewhere outside, you feel me? So it kind of brings me back to home. And then also, like they said, we go bowling every now and then, that'll be a good thing to do with the team, but that's really the main thing.
Have you been to the Place Ferry Overlook yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a great place to watch the sunset. Have you been there yet?
I don't know.
So you go out Old Richmond Road area, out past where
Proud Mary's.
Yeah, Proud Mary's is at. You go up the hill there. You gotta take your girlfriend out there. She'll like it. She'll appreciate it. Yeah,
most definitely.
But you guys, anything else you like to do in your spare time? And you talk about fishing, anything like that. You got a hobby that you really enjoy, golfing?
Yeah, I mean, being so far away from home, I love to golf, but I wasn't able to get my set here, so I'll sometimes, borrow other people's and go hit the par 3 course around here.
Yeah.
And then recently, some of the old linemen go fishing, just kind of around the ponds and stuff, and that's been really fun.
Where y'all go fishing at mostly?
Behind Stratton is low key.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
well, give your spot away, though.
Yeah.
Give your secret away.
Yeah. No, yeah, you get some bass and stuff like that. No, that's been really fun. And then going to Lake Reba, they got some trails around there. I love going hiking around there with my girlfriend and stuff like that.
Anthony, you got a place that just singled out that you like to go to? I mean, you're close to home. You could go back to Winchester and find something.
I mean, I have a place near Douglas that you would just throw your hook in and 30 seconds of fish appears.
Really?
But I don't want to give it away. Though.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's my place. But other pastimes. Oh, yeah, I am gatekeeping. Yes. Nobody will touch that pond except me. But I'm a movie critic, I will say. I like going to the movie theaters. Recently, I just watched Sinners. Very good movie. And I just love watching movies. I love wrestling, like we were talking before the show.
Who's your favorite of all time? Have you got
John Cena?
John Cena.
Yes.
Did he just get attacked by R-Truth the other day?
Yes, he did.
He did. Yeah, he was dropping the wrestling knowledge,
yes. Man. That's something I grew up watching, and maybe one day I try it out after football, but, we'll see.
Exactly. You said you guys played against each other in high school, right?
Yes.
And your team won your senior year. You beat them.
Yes, my
last
year.
And then Jake's senior year, they beat you, but you weren't on the team, so we won't count that. We won't even count that.
Yeah, lucky.
But talk about how Johnson Central, where you went to school at, and playing for a legendary coach, helped you prepare for your time at Eastern.
I mean, it's kind of like him. We all grew up together. We were a very tight, group of boys. As soon as we hit middle school, I mean, it just the game taught us a lot, how to be a better man, especially, Jim Matney was huge. He was huge on, use football to become the best man you can. And taking that, he kind of taught us to, take pride in what you do and take pride on that name you wear across your chest. So, when we go out every Friday night, we're not just playing for the name on our backs. We're playing, representing the whole community. And it just, we have a different kind of energy coming out.
Well, you know his nickname, Samantha, is Chevy.
I know he's perfect for
to be over
today,
here
right?
hanging out with us. So talk about that. Now you said you kind of told us the story before we came on.
Here,
Tell
right?
John to hit him.
I know
up.
John needs to hit you up.
But you told us the story. So Tonka was kind of the name given because you hit hard as a tight end.
Yeah.
But then someone said, let's change it up and called you Chevy.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So Joshua Carter gave me. So I came in right before fall camp. Was it 2 seasons ago? And what was it? It was Joshua Carter looked at me and said, "You look like a Tonka truck. Well, I'm gonna call you Tonka." And so a couple of guys started calling me Tonka, and I got to the tight end room, and Coach Conrad, CJ, he looked at me and said, "Why are they calling you Tonka?" I don't know. And he goes, "We need a better name." He goes, "I'm gonna call you Chevy." And,
is Zach not good enough for him? I guess.
I guess not. I mean, I never really had a nickname until I got here, and now it's like being here. Anybody I meet in Richmond, like they just go, "Hey, Chevy." It's like
that's cool.
It's like weird. Like nobody. I don't hear my name up here much often.
Well, last year, one of the biggest plays of the season, maybe one of the most exciting plays of the season, a 73-yard kickoff return to start the second half at home versus Central Arkansas. And when I talked to Coach Day and Coach Wells after that game, they said that was kind of something that you guys drew up. Talk about that, and just whenever you caught the ball, what went through your mind, and then 73 yards later, you're in the end zone.
Yeah, I love talking about this play. During that game, I was on kick return. That was my spot throughout the whole year. But when Hunter Brown went down, stepped up into that tight end position, they kind of had pulled me back on some special teams just to kind of rest me a little more because, that can be a lot doing both special teams and then offense as well. So while we were doing that, they kept kicking it to the guy that had filled in for me there. And fair catch. So then we were like, hey, let's put him out there. I knew that I could do it. I was like, I've been asking for it all year. I was like, if that ball comes to me, I'm taking it back to the house.
Give it a chance, right?
So I was on the sideline. I knew I was going out there. They're like, okay, you're going on kick return. So all through that delay at halftime, I was like, okay, we're going to go out there. The ball's coming. I'm going to kick it. And a lot of people like to forget that I used to play wide receiver.
Yeah.
Track was my main sport all through high school, middle school, all that. So I love to run. So when I get out in the field like that, I'm straight line, straight to the end zone. So I was telling them on the sideline, I said, they're going to kick it to me, and you guys are going to see the Schlack attack. And I was holding it in all year, but I finally got to show it there. So that was a lot of fun.
So have you told Coach Wells and Coach Day to let's put you back there this year to return punts and kicks?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we got to go through fall camp and all that, but I'd love to be on kick return again, Well,
I know Montgomery. I mean, there was a lot of guys that had success. I know Montgomery just kind of lit the world on fire because he's so fast and shifty and a little bit smaller, so that kind of makes it a little bit easier to kind of sneak through some of there on the special teams.
I bet Coach Day was jumping up and down.
Oh yeah,
it was and yelling. Everybody was, but I'm sure
I'm probably too old to use this word, but on the sideline it was lit. It was fired up over there on the sideline.
Oh yeah, we were all pumped up, having a great time. Yeah. I was pumped up for sure.
There you go, folks. So, and just looking back at some of the interviews we've already done, we've had a lot of great EKU football players come over. We will continue those conversations throughout the month of July with the secondary coming up next week. Vito Tisdale, Javarius Ward. We've got a lot of guys coming over next week. And then on the 14th, we'll have Marcus Cowwise, Cam Hergott. Some of the wide receivers will be coming over. We'll have Cam Jr., Montgomery, and Braden Latham. Some key returners coming back on July 21st. And we'll wrap up our interviews on July 28th with head football coach Walt Wells. I love doing this, and we talked to Coach A.W. Hamilton last week. We're going to do this with the basketball team when basketball season rolls around and is officially underway here in the fall as well. So a lot to get to over the month of July. Thank you for joining us. Happy birthday once again to Samantha Burford. Hope that they can enjoy a night out with her and celebrate her birthday. And for our great crew here, Aiden Mills, Copeland Peterson, don't forget, coming up on Friday, we will have a TV broadcast from up at Lake Greba for the 4th of July. So we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your week and enjoy all the fun that comes with this upcoming weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.